Good morning, everybody. Tuesday, Tips with the Pro. Matt Scheck here, Atlanta Athletic Club, PGA Professional. So quick today, we'll go over, again, some full swing stuff. I want you to have stuff to think about moving into our busy season when you want to hit some balls and really work on your swing. What's some things to think about? Well, today, we're going to talk about 1, depth, and 2, outward force, and 3, kind of following through, if you want to put it in 3 different categories. So you might hear the term depth in the golf swing. What is depth? Well, depth is simply put where your hands start. If they go back behind you, that's depth. If they go this way, that's the opposite of depth. So is depth good? Absolutely. We'll talk about it kind of throughout today's lesson and why you need depth and why it's helpful to have depth to make a correct, powerful swing. So let me kind of show you what happens sometimes, and let me show you the way it's supposed to look. So a lot of times I'll see people that take the club back, and where their hands are at the start, from here to first parallel, they don't gain any depth. So if you look here, it may look like the club's on your hands and it's in a good position, but in all actuality, the hands have actually lost depth. They've went away from your right thigh. That's not good. Because as you lose depth, it kind of means that you haven't turned. And it's all arms. Now, if I take it back with all arms, it becomes very tough to make the correct swing. So getting depth, how much depth do you need? Well, if I set up for a shot, I want to stay pretty close to this right thigh and almost feel like I am turning my chest, taking the club back with the chest. You want to get depth quickly. Okay, now that doesn't mean to roll your hands, because if you go out here, you're going to end up having to roll your hands. So they work together, but they also sound opposite. You want depth, 1, but you also want the club vertical, 2. What would be the opposite? No depth, club horizontal. So when you're going to hit balls, let's really focus on turning the chest, getting quick depth off the start, close to our right thigh, and then it makes it much easier to get the club vertical on top of your hands. Okay, so depth in the club on top of the hands is what we're looking for on this backswing to get depth. Now, how much depth do you want? Well, on the heels is a good spot to stop at the top of your swing for depth-wise. So if you naturally turn your chest, you can get right to there without a whole lot of manipulation with the forearms. So turn your chest right to the heels. That's all you're looking for. That takes us to our number 2 thing, and that is outward force. Big term, let me explain it to you. The golf club has a balance point on it right here where my finger is at. This is the balance point of the golf club. The center of mass of this golf club is right here. That's the part of the club that you really want to swing down on that shaft plane. Okay, so if it goes this way, that would be over the top. If it comes too far this way, that would be under plane. Either way, they have faults. Over the top's going to start left, under plane's going to start right. So you can use your own judgment there to see if you're over or under just by the way the ball starts. So outward force is very critical to the downswing, in my opinion. So if I take the club to the correct position at the top on my heels, and now this is where the outward force starts. Out with the hands. Okay? If my hands go this way, the center of mass of this club is going to follow along. What happens if I pull the club down, straight down? Where's the center of mass go? On top of my hands. So everything goes hand in hand. If you get correct depth on your heels, you can go ahead and use outward force to the ball and get this club right on plane. And yes, it's shallowing, if that makes sense, because you're going from vertical to outward. Vertical to outward. Do you have to shallow the club? No. Do the best players do it? More than likely, most of them do, yes. So you can get on plane going under and pulling a little bit, but it takes the elbow away from you and does a lot of stuff that I don't like. So very simply, depth with the hands, with the shoulders, and then naturally you can get that outward force this way with the hands because they're so far around. Now what happens if you don't get any depth? You can't get outward force, okay? If you get too much depth, then you're gonna be starting the ball way to the right. Let me just show you a drill I like to use here. And it helps to take the club back with the body more, and also keeps your elbows into a good position in this triangular formation without getting the elbow too much here and here throughout the swing. Grab a ball. Very simply, this ball is just going to go between my forearms. Right here. Now you wouldn't ever really take the club back without your body with this ball. It takes the wrist completely out of it. So I have to turn. Now you can do a little vertical hinge once you get turned, which I like. But it's going to take away this kind of pick up, lay off, all this stuff. And you can hit balls like this. I'll go ahead and show you a couple here. It is a very difficult drill. People don't like it, but your better players can do it. It's just plain and simple. You get the club here, you keep a good triangular structure with the elbows, and then you externally rotate as you come down. You lead with that right elbow like we want to. Get the elbow in front. Everything works out. You can stay down. You can stay crunching. All this good stuff into the shot. So this is a good drill to try. Just get you a ball that's got a little bit less air than full, so you can squish it a little bit in between your elbows. And then maybe you just start with turning back and through. Okay, now we go to the third thing today, follow through. So I see a lot of forward lean after the shot when I give lessons. So it's here, this type of motion. Back, through, and they fall forward. So the kinematic sequence is off. We know that we want to take it to the top of the swing. I want you to imagine that there's a brick wall right here, and I'm going to rush into that brick wall on the downswing. And then when I get to about here, I'm going to turn out of it. So get to the brick wall and then turn out of it. Boom, boom. That's kind of the feeling you want through the shot. So you don't want to get to the top and run away from the brick wall. You want to get to the top of the swing, transfer the weight, get forward onto your front foot before you even do anything with the arms. Then when you get there, you can go ahead and turn out of it. You'll see this left shoulder move up and left. You'll see everything turn so you don't run into the wall. Then you finish more up. If you go walk over here for me, I can show you the kind of way it's supposed to look. Okay, so we set up. We already know we want to get a little depth with our chest. Take the club back with the arms, get some depth. Naturally, if you get enough depth, you can get that outward force to get the club, balance point of the club to come down on plane. And then follow it through. We're here. Ooh, let me rush that wall. Rush to this wall that's right here. And then when I get to here, I can back out of it and release the club and finish properly and all that. So here it looks like. That's the lesson for today. Thanks for watching.